Hello, and welcome to the next game in the new iOS League. I'm joined with DBD, who's returning back
I've
to the game
returned
after a bit of hiatus,
back from
and
retirement.
we've got what looks like an exciting game today with NG and Roby Rovers. Yeah, it's one of them games. I think Roby Roby made some great signings in the past window, and I think they're going to be trying to look to prove themselves today. I mean, what looking at them initial lineups, DBD, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be an even match, or do you think it's going to be just NG, same old, same old?
Uh, NG, same old, same old. I think when Roby signed Salix and even Zapdos, like Roby's attack is very good, but the minute you go down against NG, it's just so hard. Um, I do think it's going to be NG 3-0, 3-1, but they'll win comfortably. I also think that the Roby defense is. I'm not sure about it. Are you able to deal with Quincy and Nightfire? They just have NG just have an insane team. If you really think about it, over the past 2-3 years, they've just had an insane team since day one.
Yeah, it's like we were saying before. It's one of them teams. No matter how little they play and how little they play friendly matches, they still turn up for league matches, and they're still the best team in any league that they take part in. And that's just purely down to knowing each other inside out and knowing how each other play and having a system that works. And I think that's something that the other teams are struggling with. They including myself, obviously, as leader of Phoenix, it's easier said than done to get people to play a certain way, and
Since day one, they had they had the same philosophy, the way they played. When they formed, when I ran for them around the development times and BB were alive, they just did pass, 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 and since then, it's drilled into them so much. Even now in the game where it's harder to pass, they can just close out a game so easy because they're just used to it.
Yeah, very true. Just taking a quick look at the lineups before we kick off. For Roby Rovers, we've got Haya in goal, Tet at right back, Hakan at centre back, Destran at left back, Salix at right wing, Panther playing centre mid, left wing Zapdos, and centre forward Sean. Looking at that lineup, it's very strong, certainly attacking wise. Defense may be their weakness today. Destran is new to Roby, and he maybe hasn't quite settled in as quickly as maybe thought. And Hakan, again, new to Roby. I don't think Tet's got them playing the way that he wants to play yet. So I think today we're going to be looking at Roby's defense for maybe their weakness, but their attack, certainly plenty goals in them. Looking at NG,
their
go on,
attack,
sorry.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say their attack is so experienced for Roby, but probably Tet's gonna have them telling him just hoof the ball. The minute the ball comes down, straight back up the field, because they won't be able to deal with them.
Yeah. And quickly before the game starts, looking at NG, we've got Devon goal, Duck at right back, Rock at centre back, Quincy at left back, Nightfire at right wing, Javit at centre mid, KM left wing, and Chupo centre forward. Again, really strong side. The only difference there from the previous game, I believe, is Seabot doesn't play and Quincy plays instead at left back. who hasn't really played much iOS lately. But again, we've said about NG, they don't play. They don't seem to forget how to play. They just always know. I believe Duck is new in the lineup as well.
So was
But he's
KM, yeah.
and KM too. Yeah, he's
I actually said the last game they played, if KM played, the game would be out of sight. And you watching this game, KM will pick up the ball on the left, he'll cross, or he'll shoot the far corner, and he'll score.
it's an early chance for Chupo as you come through, and Haya made a good save to start. That's not exactly the start Roby wanted, but they've kept it out. But you are right, KM, he's just, again, one of them players. He seems to be able to put in the dangerous cross every single time. And it's because he knows that the players he's playing it into, they're always going to be there in that exact same area every single time. And it is a chance for him to showcase that. But he's tackled. In fact, he's won it back. But he's just...
What's important here now is that Roby don't concede early. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game for them.
Yeah, you could see heads dropping if there was if that goal would have went in early. You know, one of the things with iOS is it's very it's a game, but it's realistic in a sense that heads drop, you go goal down, your heads do drop, and it's just about keeping the troops rallied. And Tet is a good leader for that. Oh, Chupo's through, and he's onside. Shot, and it's a goal.
Too easy.
Too easy. And we did say before the game that Roby's defense could be their biggest weakness today, and Chupo was just the right side of Hakan, or rather the wrong side for Hakan to be.
You know what happened there now is Javier got free of Panther, and the minute you have him, you're not even close him down, you're in danger because he lets through best balls you will ever receive. Like,
yeah, that's right. You know, Zava, complete playmaker for NG, and he's played the assist there. He's probably going to be a contender for top assister in the league, I would say, with passes like that.
Probably top player. Like, honestly, I rate him so highly.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you there. He's definitely going to be probably up there. And now it's just a case of whether Roby can rally themselves. Don't let your heads drop. Maybe Tet needs to have a bit of a word of his defence when he gets a chance, and just tell them to keep the eyes on the ball. And
when NG have the ball, just if anyone has a chance, just look at the way Javier pulls away from Panther.
Ooh.
Oh
dear, and that's another. They had a chance to get that clear, and everyone just sort of stood still. And
yeah,
if you see it, Fire, he's got 3 men on him, and he still comes away with the ball. Goes for the near post, comes off the post. I suppose it's a little bit lucky coming back to Chupo, but they give him the space for the shot, and it goes in between the 2 defenders. And
I spoke to Nightfire before the game in the tunnel, and he's just saying that they wanted a really good start because the last week against Chefs, they were caught off guard too many times. I think they got the perfect start. This is only 10 minutes in. It's a long game for them, I think, now.
Yeah. It seems to me that what you said before coming true, and it could be a very long game for Roby now, unless they can somehow get a quick goal back into it. But they haven't even got started by the looks of it. They can't string 2 passes together, and it just looks like the game could pass them by if they're not careful.
Well, the thing now is, if they go 3-0 down, it's over. But they need to do damage limitation, I think.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be trying to just, for now, stem the tide and just don't let NG get another goal, because, you know, two goals isn't impossible in iOS. You could happen, you could get lucky, you could get a good set piece. But if you go 3 goals down against NG, I'd struggle to find any teams that would come back against them. And there's the 3rd goal. As we speak, the KM cross, Nightfire header, it's all going very, very wrong for Roby. And you have to wonder whether Tet does start thinking about damage limitation, as you mentioned before.
does that pull everybody back and do a 5-man defense? Like it's probably imperative. It's only 14 minutes in. It's as poor as a league start you'll ever see, I think.
The big worry is this. They're certainly not done scoring. NG, they could score plenty more if Roby don't solid up in defence. That's a poor kick from Haya, and he's let Javid just pick it up. Maybe Haya's a bit nervous, and I think he's got every right to be when his defence can't keep people away from taking shots. There's a chance for Roby to try something back. Sean just bringing it away, slowing the game down a little bit. Nearly got past Rock. Rock won it back off him. He give it away though. A bit scrappy now. KM won it back.
Here we go.
Offside.
What's the best way do you think to beat NG?
I remember in the last league, Chefs played NG, and I believe it was a 1-1 draw. It was a draw anyway, and although they didn't win, playing like that is certainly the best way to beat NG. You've got to frustrate them, play a defensive game, put as many men as possible behind the ball, and then when you do get the ball, you've got to counter and you've got to make it work. And that seems to be the only way people can beat NG, or at least compete against them. And I just don't think any of the teams, including ourselves, unfortunately, are equipped to beat NG the way they are.
A long time ago in a different league when BB played NG, we actually sat down, we're in a private channel, and we said, what's the best way to do it? The only way I think you can beat them is counter attack. You have to like get a lucky, like diagonal long balls, not like loose long balls, like, but like specific long balls to certain players. Like if you had Rhino, for example, you played him on a wing, you do diagonal balls over to him, you have a big chance against Rock or Quincy, like, and then it's 2-on-1, you know.
That's the thing. I mean, Rhino just mentioned it to me there. In the last league, VCRS, which is the team me and Rhino were in, we actually won the mini league, and that was only because of we beat NG with a last minute goal. And to be honest, no team really deserved to win that game. But the only way we won is because NG fell asleep, which is very unusual for them at the end of the game. And we caught them on a last-minute counter-attack, and Rhino scored and kept his composure. And I felt like, although it was great to win, it also felt like we didn't really... And there's the other goal that goes in.
Yeah,
it's just a bit too easy, isn't it? Simple ball across, and Chupo taps it in. But it does seem like, the only way you beat NG is if you're lucky, or that you play that counter-attacking game and you use specific players.
If you saw in that play there when Nightfire got the ball, 2 of the NG players went to the back of the box and then to the center of the box, and all the Roby players stayed in the middle to mark one player. Like it's difficult, like when it comes to that, because when Nightfire has the ball, the first thing you should really be doing is closing them down. Because once that ball goes in, you have no idea what happens. Exactly,
and the crosses, as we spoke about, they're so good. They're always precision to certain players, and it's hard to stop. Defending against a cross like that is one of the worst things a defender has to do in this game. It's so difficult, and NG are the best at it, and that's just practice and years of playing together and knowing where each other are on the pitch.
I tell you what they do well is they use their stand bars very well.
You mean like the backup players and stuff?
Yeah, well, around the pitch they don't waste their stand.
Oh, your stamina, yeah, I get you. No, you're right. They all, if you let one of them get in in the wrong side of you, they always make sure they've got enough stamina to keep away from you. So the worst thing you can do is let them get the wrong side of you, because they'll always have that enough stam to get where they need to go. As Panther makes a foul just to stop the attack there. He's avoided a yellow card there, but it was quite a cynical challenge.
I think the ref's being very lenient on him because of the scoreline.
Possibly.
I hope
As
not, actually.
Javit looks like he might be going for the shot.
Oh, what happened
Oh,
there?
I don't really know what happened there, but
Just play on, just play on, just play on. Oh, too kind. It's a league game. You should be rootless, Zapdos.
To be honest, it wasn't like he did that by mistake, I think, because he went to take the shot. So it's almost as if, I don't know, they were trying to trick them or something. I don't know. Roby should have just played on.
Sign of disrespect, yeah. Trying to do trick shots in a league game.
Possibly, Roby don't want that to be the case. They've got the respect on the line here. That, you know, that I think they expected to beat Phoenix in that first game, and we managed to get the draw. We could have possibly won that game, and Roby certainly have got their respect on the line here if they can't at least get a couple of goals back as consolation. As Sean brings it clear, puts the cross in, but it's too close to Dev, who's looked a lot more assured in goal in this game because he's had nothing to do.
Yeah, he actually. What's the shot count? They've had 1 shot. NextGen have had 8 shots.
Well,
So
you
four,
see,
4 of those shots have gone in.
the stats don't lie. They always tell the story of the game. And Roby just haven't done enough with the ball. Oh, that's a good block on the line from Destran. The keeper was beaten. And that could have been 5-0.
Yeah. Could have. Like, NextGen's possession 60-40. The passing has been near enough perfect for this version of the game. Like, you can't fault them in anything that they've done.
It's almost been the perfect game. It's almost been the perfect game for NG. They've started well, got the early goals. Game's basically over already.
It's quite sad that we have to say that the game's over, because like we'd hope that it wouldn't be, but the reality is just it's just that they're too good.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to see Roby come back, and I'd love to say like, oh, I wish they would come back and win this game, but it's just you can't. They can't, like.
You cannot, as Chefs, as we've seen in the last game with Chefs. If you're ahead against NG, you've got I know this sounds obvious, but NG have got to come out and play against you then. And that means you've got chances to score more goals, like we saw with the Chefs game. But if you let NG go ahead, they just control the game. They pass it round. They don't lose the ball. You're never gonna come back against them. And
They don't lose the ball up the field.
yeah, they'll if they do lose the ball, it's in not dangerous territory. You won't see them misplacing a pass at the back or in midfield, and that's the difference.
What happens when Chefs went 2-1 up against them? I think they started pouring everybody up forward, and the wing backs are going, and that's when they make the mistakes, when they try and push for themselves to be ahead.
Yeah.
But oh, go on, Tet. Oh.
Tet went for the back pages goal. Didn't work. But don't forget Twitch chat. If you've got any questions or anything you want us to discuss, put them through to the chat. We definitely need some stuff to discuss because this game is looking like it's over already, as much as we hate to say it. So try and get us some debating points in the chat if you've got anything you want to talk about, or Steam PM me or DBD, and we'll get talking about it.
I'm too old of a player to know all these new players. I actually feel so ancient. It's been so long since I played this game.
Okay, we got a question coming through from Dap saying, "Am I British or am I Irish or am I from Manchester?" As if Manchester's like its own place. But
Was that to me or
I'm
you?
neither. I'm from Liverpool. That's the difference. But yeah, I can understand. When I first did the commentary in the last league, a lot of people were saying to me that I didn't even sound like I was a what you'd call stereotypical British person. But
Scouser.
nobody from the north of England does sound like a stereotypical English person, really. It's very diverse accents. As Chuba gets a header through on Gea.
He's a class player. I tried to poach him a long time ago, but he never came.
Chupo.
Yeah, I tried to poach him to BB, and I nearly got him. 35 million.
Oh, see, if you really want a player, you've got to be prepared to break the bank, put a few extra mil on,
Well,
loyalty
he
bonuses.
wasn't playing any league games back then, and I said I try to sauce him up on a few PMs on IRC, and I nearly got him.
Well, it looks like he's very, very firmly ingrained in NG now. I don't think anybody's gonna pry him away from the.
Here's the. Oh, we have a chance here.
Ooh, bit scrappy. Salix put it across for.
Go on.
Ball in. It's cleared.
Here, 3 and 3. It's bad. This is bad.
Got a chance to counter. Chupo with space. Trying to get past Destran, but he has to come backwards. Cut out by Zach. That's much better from Roby.
Much better.
That's what you want to see. Bit of one-touch passing.
Go on. Oh, way better play. You know what the scary thing is? This isn't NG's full side.
No,
I wouldn't say it's their strongest. Near enough.
It's close to being the strongest, but they could, they've got people who are there, who when they take the place of someone in the squad now, there's no change. It's the same, and that's the good thing. That's what they do the best. When they have people to come in, they do the same job. They don't lose any skill at all, and that's because they have the philosophy and they stick by it. Question come through from Dap again, and he asked, I'll ask it to you, DVD. Is there any hope for a goal, even just one goal from Roby today?
Yeah, of course. There's always a chance that you can just get a fluky goal. But other than that, I don't really see it happening. There's too much. I think Panthers getting really outrun by Jav. The whole midfield is it's just they're not on par with NG. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance, isn't there? We did see them get a chance.
There is, yeah. But if you just look at the middle, if you're watching this game, look at the middle. Look where Javier is compared to Panther. He runs the game so subtly.
Yeah, and we did just see probably the first misplaced ball of the game, and there was another one from
another
NG.
one. Maybe they're just getting careless because
they're collector's items. Them, so you should take a picture of that because you won't see that very often. But KM, good ball in midfield to Javit, who just plays it wide. Nightfire's going to get there, just about. But I think, the good thing from Roby's perspective is they've stopped the tide. They didn't concede another.
They conceded 3 in 14 minutes. And I said at the very start, an early goal would kill them, and it did.
Yeah. That's all that iOS experience.
Oh, here we go.
Chupo, he just does his man.
Too good.
He hit the post. Oh, wow.
I was about to say goal of the week or even goal of the season.
But even when it even looked like Gea just dropped the ball as well, and then it went across the goal line, I was like, I'd have to see that again. I'm not sure what happened.
That was very good actually, because he just literally dribbled around one and then conned the keeper, hit the post from 2 yards out.
That's what we all love about iOS. The things that can happen like that.
There's going to be a lot of memes afterwards about Shupo's miss.
As Roby get a corner, Panther just going to swing it in. Zapdos got there, but it was blocked.
Yeah.
Now they get another chance. Near post shot, but it's easy for Dev. As me game alt and tabs for some reason. Okay, I'm back.
Well, who hasn't actually done much is, here's my fire, is KM. He hasn't really had to do much.
Yeah, he's been quiet. He did get the assist for one of the goals, but yeah, he's not been as effective as you'd expect him. But it comes to something when we can see someone's had a not as good of a game when they've still managed to get an assist, but that's just NG for you. Even when their players have a bad game, they can still win because it just takes one moment to score.
What would be good for the league is if it stayed 4-0 or Roby got a few goals back, but they didn't concede anymore.
What's a little bit unusual actually is, and I can understand why they've done it, but Sean, very, very much a winger. It's very unusual to see him playing centre forward, and I guess that's because they're missing Doc, who they missed in the first game. Doc played in the first game, but Doc is missing for this game, and he would normally play centre forward and be a big difference for them. But
I would probably have Zapdos there. I honestly, that front four, I would swap it around. Zapdos centre forward and Salix at centre mid with Xavier.
So I got another question coming, anonymous one this time.
I know who it is.
Saying who do we think is the MVP for the game?
Shupo. It's already Shupo.
I would have to agree with that. If you look at his stats, he's got 3 goals. His passing has not been the highest in NG, but that doesn't matter. He's scored when he's had to score. Saying that, Javit's had another sterling game, and he nearly scored, but he's got 26 passes with an 88%.
That's insane, isn't it?
Completion rate. Quincy's had a quietly good game as well. He's got a good pass completion rate, but it's got to be a toss-up between Javit and Chupo, and I think Chupo edges it. He's done all that he's needed to do today. He holds the ball up well.
Yeah, you have to give credit to Rock and the defense because they've given nothing. And to be fair, we haven't actually talked about them at all because the front four, Roby, they've been around the block for a long time, and Rock has just marshalled them straight out. He's marshalled Sean and Salix completely.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's easy to ignore defenders when they have a good game, if that makes sense, because you don't see the crucial tackles from them and stuff like that. You just see them quickly intercepting the ball and playing it away, but that means that they're having a great game. And you're right. Rock has been literally the rock at the back for NG, and it's credit to him, and especially Quincy, considering he's not played that much iOS recently, and he's come back in with a great pass completion rate there.
Quincy and I were in China, just chilling out, and we're going off to Cambodia. We're going off to Cambodia for a holiday together.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, fancy.
Maybe you should abduct him when you're over there. Can't play for NG anymore.
I'll actually drug him and make him sign a contract for Phoenix. But
I won't tell you that. I won't stop you from doing that. Put it that way.
When you have nothing to say about a defender, it means they've done their job basically.
Yeah, exactly. As the KM swings the corner in. Xavi just tried to touch it down for Chupo, but it didn't work. Bit of
But they
space
have,
for Roby,
yeah.
but Panther it's not worked for him today.
He swapped to the wing, and I think Salix and him swapped near enough around the second half, and since then they've actually been a lot better. And that's nothing against Panther, but Panther's always been a winger and centre forward. Well, as long as I know him playing.
Yeah, I mean he's tried to reinvent himself as a centre mid. It was when there used to be a team called Noble, which the less say about that, the better. And Panther was the team leader for that, and he tried to reinvent himself as a centre mid for that team, and it didn't work out. Let's put it that way. And Roby took him on, and I guess he's tried to be centre mid again there. But as I say, as you said before, he's still very, very effective at wing and centre forward if he was to play there. So maybe Roby need to change that going forward and maybe try Panther in them positions instead. Because Salix is really good in that centre mid position. So I really don't understand why he was put out at right wing in this game.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, to be honest, because I would have put Salix on the Xavi straight away. And the minute that they did this, they stopped conceding, and they were able to play a bit better.
Yeah. Well, you can only hope that when you get defeated, you've got to learn lessons from it.
Oh, stop it, Xavier! Stop it.
As Xavi took on about 3 players and very nearly got in on goal, but that's the game.
Well, yeah, you know what? It was for them not to concede after that terrible first 15 minutes. Credit to them for not leaving it go and losing their heads. To be fair,
yeah, they did. They stopped the tide, and I think that was all they could do. They weren't going to come back. We could see that from just before half time, but they stopped. Goal difference could come into play on with league positions as the league goes on. So, Roby will probably be happy that they managed to stop them scoring anymore, but they're certainly going to have to maybe reassess the way that they play. And I don't know whether have we got time to do any interviews after the game. I know that we have to shoot off.
We're on at 9,
But I could see if anybody from Roby would come in for a quick word and someone from NG. But I'll have to message them on Steam. But I think, like we were saying before, we're going to stick with Chupo for the man of the match. If someone wants to set up a straw poll for viewers to vote, then that would help us a lot in Discord, just to see what you guys thought.
I think Chupo was. It's a hat trick, and he kind of ran the game from start to finish. And he was the minute they scored, we knew both ourselves it was going to be a very difficult game for Roby.
Yeah. Tech can't come in, but he said he's got to shoot off. So I don't know whether I could get anyone from Roby who'd like to come in. But maybe I can get an NG player come in.
Get Duck to come in. I want to see that man.
I've never heard him speak. Does he just quack instead?
I was about to say it, yeah.
But let me see. Well, I can't get. I'm going to have to put it in Discord because I can't find anybody NG on Steam.
Well, we can ask a fringe player like Matt to come in and talk to us.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I could ask Matt to come in.
Or if
Could be a
there are
bit
any,
controversial.
yeah,
Could be
or if there
very
are any
controversial. But I think Arshaven's come in before to talk to us. If I could get Arshaven to come in. I can see him there on Twitch chat, so get yourself in to talk to us if you're there.
You won't touch you, I swear. Well, next game is ourselves, Phoenix against NTA. I don't know if it's being streamed or not, because Rhino usually does that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who's going to stream that because Ian normally streams as well, and he's disappeared today. I don't know whether he's online or not. But oh, I got a message saying Matt'll stream it. So why doesn't Matt come in and ask and talk to us? That's what I want to know. Let me see. Hello.
Hi, it's me, Matt. Hello.
Hello, Matt. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Sound like a younger Arya.
Well, you know,
Wow.
I think
don't know.
Ari's training him up to be the next Ari, if that makes sense. But
Jesus.
yeah.
Please don't ever say that again. Such an insult.
Well, yeah. So looking at that game, it's quite easy to see, you know, how dominant NextGen were in that first half. You know, I think DVD said that he spoke to Nightfire, and Nightfire said they were very, very keen to make sure in this game to start quickly, and you did exactly that. Now, was that down to any change in you know, way of playing, or was that just we can do better in this game?
I don't really think there was any like tactics to go quick or anything. I feel we just wanted to play our game and hopefully just beat them. I feel like NG is on a roll right now. It's a lot of confidence, so there was just no reason to adapt. It was just simply play our game. Hopefully, we're gonna go up. And with such a quick start, I feel like something, I don't know what happened, but there was a lot of goals in a very short period of time. And I don't know, it slowed down. So, I mean, I guess we played pretty comfortable. Like we felt it was enough.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely, you know, to score, I think, 3 goals in, what was it, DVD? Like
15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so quick.
I think essentially we said that the game was could have been over when the third goal went in. To be honest, I mean the fourth goal just sealed it, but the game was essentially over when the third goal went in, and you know that's kind of considering, you know, you had Quincy as well in there at left back who you know, he's played. I think he played a few games today, but he's not played iOS for quite a while, has he? You know, it must be great to have people that can just come back from, you know, being away and just fit straight back in like that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it doesn't require much playing. There's a system in place, and I feel like everyone knows every position and how to play it. So you can just put Quincy wing, center midfield, or defender, and he'll know what to do. So it's. I mean, sure, Quincy has been active enough, like fit in. It's not like he's been gone for a year or so, but Yeah, I agree. Like, there's a system in place, and it helps a lot in terms of just you don't really have to be super active to be at top form.
And talking of like NG players, who would you say was your who would you say was the key man for you today? Who made the difference?
In the Chopo, I guess. he was lethal. He was in the correct position every time, just doing the right stuff. He helps so much with the build-up as well. Like him and Javi is they have like some telepathic understanding, so they kind of find each other all the time.
Yeah,
I feel like those like the duo there is like lethal and can't really be stopped. And in this game, like Chupo was probably the more dominant player.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
we basically said, and we that we thought Chupo was man of the match.
Yeah.
It was either going to be
Yeah,
him or Javi. We thought,
Yeah,
but we give it to Chupo because not only did he score the goals, he held the ball up and he brought others into play, and you know he that's what he does. And you've still got to be on the end of the pass to score. So he was there all the time,
yeah,
and that was definitely, you know, there's no doubt that he's won man of the match there, and that means that that's a second man of the match as well. So he's gone ahead in that little table at
yeah. And
Techno.
how many goals has he scored? Like 5, 6, 7?
he's on 5 now. But we were saying as well that Rock and Javier, they ran that show. Now, if you had a look at the way Xavi played against Panther, he just kept distancing himself, gave the ball to Shupu, Shupu gave it back to him, went to the corner,
Yeah,
knife it in, goal. It was the simplest of things, and like Rock's pass percentage and Xavi's pass percentage near the 90s. Like you're not going to win a game if you let them pass that much.
I feel like you cannot really stop Javid. You can't really blame Panther on that because I feel every game Javid has like 90 plus in percentage of like passing complete. I don't feel like he's ever below 90 somehow. I don't know. It's weird. I don't feel like anyone can actually pressure him in a way because he's really good with the ball of like just getting some type of distance from his opponents every time.
Yeah, we were contemplating why Panther was playing in the center and not Salix. We had a feeling that Salix might have done a better job on him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Salix could have defensively been a little bit better. But I think offensively,
yeah.
Panther is much better.
Yeah, I think Panther will like center forward will be much better because he turns you straight away, and I think Rock had an easy ride today, like, and he marshaled everybody well. But yeah, you guys are playing NTA next, so how do you think
That's
you're
a
gonna
tough one.
do? Man, Mac Rhino.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game, I guess. I hope it's gonna be a fun game.
Well,
But
the good thing about that is you get to watch Phoenix play NTA in about 20 minutes.
yeah,
So you're going to be able to have a little sneak preview
yeah.
of NTA
No, but
and
honestly,
Phoenix.
I'm happy NTA exists. I feel like there's a spot for the new guys. I don't think
Yeah, I
every
do too.
player is gonna end up being good, but I feel like they're gonna have at least a stage to prove themselves somehow. So that's good. I mean, we're making fun of them now, but eventually, I hope you're gonna come out good. So
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly been saying going into this game, you know, we're not underestimating NTA. They've brought in, you know,
yeah, they have some experienced players now.
Meany and Rhino, who are, you know, really experienced players. And to be honest, people have been trying to get Meany for this whole window,
Yeah.
and he's decided to, you know, to take a chance and go to NTA. And you know that they're
It
definitely
reminds him of ISS. That's what it does. It reminds him of ISS.
That's
I
possibly
cannot
it.
comment on that, so I'm too new. You're way too old, Ibudi, I'm sorry.
I know, I'm too old for this.
But yeah,
Actually, I
mean,
think, yeah.
sorry.
No, keep on going.
Well, I was just gonna say, what going forward, like, do do you must seriously think that NG are going to walk this league now? Do you think that?
Yeah, I do. It's it's pretty bad. I didn't expect this. I was hoping at least Roby was going to be our a tough opponent, but honestly, I feel like Chefs, they're not that bad. They could like upset. So I don't feel like walking the league is a bit too much. Chefs could upset, like I said, that's all. But yeah, right now NG is obviously number one. So we've won so many games now.
Wait till we play you, Matt. Wait till we play you.
Yeah.
I'll play centre forward.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick
upset.
DVD on you and just tell him to woof the shit out of your whole game. So that's literally my only tactic.
Yeah. So, don't you guys have like a game in 50 minutes?
Yeah, we'll let you go so that we can get some prep. I doubt anyone from Roby is going to speak to us. So
they've all gone to the bar.
Yeah, I think so too.
So thanks for coming in anyway, Matt.
All right, good luck, guys.
Ta-ra. So I think we'll leave it there for today. Thanks for joining us. You know, in the end, we got to see a couple of goals, but it wasn't really the competitive game that we were expecting, which was a shame. But if you want to see a competitive game, watch the next one. So, you got any final words, DVD?
That was a backhanded compliment. I do think NG will win the league, and that's just being modest, I think. Unless Chefs or ourselves, or even Roby come back and do, or even NTA do an upset. Because I wouldn't expect NG to put out a big team against NTA. I don't think they'd do that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because, you know, I mean, essentially, you know, if NG do decide to play a weakened team against NTA, it's, you know, would you call that a bit of disrespect, or would you just say they're that good that they've got the what's the word I'm looking for? It's okay for them to do that, if that makes sense.
I don't. Well, it's okay because NG's team is so strong all around, but I don't think they're going to be playing players like Shupu. They might play Aran. They won't play Nightfire, but they'll put out a modest enough team because, to be fair, like, it's not saying that NG will go out and run all over them. You just don't want to see that. And it doesn't, it's not good for the new players if they're getting rolled over 8-0 or 5-0, even 4-0. It's a lot, like,
demoralizing.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, again, we'll end it here. So thanks for joining us, and make sure you stay tuned for Phoenix versus NTA. See you, everybody.